It all began when Karen, driven by her usual entitlement and audacity, decided to build a gate directly into my yard. She claimed it was for convenience, and somehow justified her intrusion as part of neighborhood oversight. Karen had long operated under the delusion that she could dictate what happened on my property, enforce arbitrary rules, and intimidate residents at will. What she did not realize, however, was that her audacity was about to collide with strategy, preparation, and decisive action in a way that would leave her exposed, powerless, and humiliated. From the moment I discovered the gate, I began documenting the intrusion meticulously. Photographs, security camera footage, and precise measurements captured every angle, every step, and every element of Karen's unauthorized construction. Timestamps were recorded, and prior incidents of harassment were compiled alongside this event, creating a comprehensive dossier of her audacity. Every detail was preserved to ensure no future manipulation or claims could undermine my response. Rather than react impulsively or engage in a direct confrontation, I devised a strategic plan. Using overnight work crews and pre-prepared materials, I transformed the intrusive gate into a brick wall, completely sealing the entry she had so brazenly constructed. The work was executed quietly, efficiently, and with precision. By the time Karen arrived the following morning, she was met with a solid, impenetrable brick wall where her gate had once stood. Her audacious attempt at asserting control had been neutralized before she even realized it. When Karen arrived to inspect her supposed improvement, her reaction was a mixture of shock, confusion, and disbelief. She had expected compliance, fear, or at least the illusion of influence, but she was confronted with the stark reality of strategy, preparation, and decisive action. The brick wall was not only functional and permanent, it was a clear demonstration that audacity unchecked could be countered decisively. Karen attempted to argue, demand removal, or threaten legal action. Every statement she made was documented, recorded, and countered with evidence of her unauthorized intrusion. I presented property records, photographs, and legal documentation, dismantling her claims methodically. Her attempt to assert authority was exposed as reckless, unlawful, and entirely without merit. She had underestimated both the scope of my property rights and the precision with which I could respond. In addition to neutralizing the gate, I implemented preventative measures to ensure no future intrusions could occur. Surveillance cameras were upgraded, access points reinforced, and legal notices were sent to Karen and the HOA, outlining the consequences of any further attempts to interfere with property boundaries. Karen's audacity, which had once created fear or irritation, now served as evidence of recklessness, setting the stage for permanent accountability. Neighbors and community members quickly became aware of the incident. Karen's credibility, already fragile from prior overreach, suffered a permanent blow. Her pattern of entitlement, harassment, and audacious interference was laid bare for all to see. The lesson was clear. Audacity without preparation or understanding of legal boundaries is doomed to fail when confronted with strategic, lawful action. Karen had assumed compliance, fear, or manipulation would prevail, but instead, she discovered that recklessness meets consequences. In the following days, the yard remained fully secure. The brick wall, a symbol of strategy, preparation, and lawful authority, stood as a permanent barrier against future intrusion. Karen's ability to manipulate, intimidate, or assert control was nullified, and her credibility within the community was irreparably damaged. The incident became a cautionary tale, demonstrating that attempts to assert entitlement without foresight or legality are ultimately self-defeating. By the end of the week, calm had returned to the yard and the surrounding property. Karen's audacity had been decisively neutralized, leaving her exposed, powerless, and publicly humiliated. The brick wall stood not only as a physical barrier but as a monument to strategic foresight, preparation, and the enduring power of lawful authority over reckless entitlement. Every observer understood the lesson. Audacity alone cannot overcome preparation, law, and decisive action. Karen had been exposed, and the yard was secure once again.